Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Casey Cook. I'm a busy realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I also host this website and platform where local small businesses or people in the community doing good things can advertise and promote for free. You can learn all about them at www.vista411.com. Today, I'm in the Alta Vista Botanical Gardens. I'm exploring some of the cool stuff to do. My host is
Naomi Stein.
Miss Naomi Stein. So Naomi's been a member of the Botanical Gardens for about 10 years now?
Well, since 2010.
Since 2010.
Right.
Got it. And you're currently the residing vice president, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So the Alta Vista Botanical Gardens, if you haven't been here, if you're not familiar with it, they promote involvement of the community in efforts to protect and preserve endangered habitats. Part of their mission is to foster education, enlightenment, and inspiration for our children and the children with all of us. So thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yep. So why don't we start? Why don't you give us a little description kind of what the Alta Vista Botanical Gardens are and what they're about?
Right. Well, we're 14 acres.
Okay.
And it's very eclectic. Our garden encompasses gardens that are rose gardens. We have desert gardens. We have very interactive gardens like the children's garden. We have trails throughout the 14 acres. People love to walk and to climb trees and to enjoy the pond. We have 2 beautiful ponds and a waterfall. There's a lot to see here, there's a lot to do because many of our things like the labyrinth are interactive. So you can spend several hours here just enjoying the gardens.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the history. So how did this 14 acres come to be designated, because we're here at Bringle Terrace Park, right, in Central Vista. How did this come to be designated?
This property was owned originally by a wealthy doctor and his wife that lived in LA, and this was their summer residence.
This was their summer residence.
Exactly. And they would come here for holidays and so forth, and they loved it. It was very wild at that time, the property. There were lots of wild animals roaming, and they absolutely loved it and lived here many years. What happened is they had no heirs, and when they passed, they left the property to 2 or 3 different charities.
Okay.
The city of Vista decided to buy back the land from the charities, and they felt that we needed a botanical garden in Vista, and there was a group of business people and agriculture people. They got together, and that's how the botanical garden started.
So the city of Vista, they got together a group and they purchased the land from these individuals and dedicated it for this purpose.
Exactly.
Got it. So how did you get involved? What's your history with the group?
Okay, I'll tell you my history. In 2008, I lost my son, who was a musician.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we wanted to do something special. And I got a call from a friend, and they said, well, maybe you could do something at Alta Vista Botanical Gardens. They have a lot of land, and maybe you can do something. At that point, my husband and I had a landscape company. We had been in business since 1977.
Yep.
And we decided we were going to put in a children's music garden in honor of my son. What better way to honor your child than to put in something that he loved so much?
Yeah.
So we were still in business in actually it was in 2009 that we put it in, and my workers and my staff, we designed it and we installed the children's music garden. And we've got amazing, it's very interactive. We have an amandinda, we have a drum, we have a pebble chime. There's lots to do. Maybe later we'll be able to take a look at some of that.
So it just occurred to me a couple of seconds ago that same music garden that I took my kids on when they were at Monte Vista Elementary and we were on local field trips is the garden you put in.
Yes.
In honor of your son.
Yeah, it's called the Jeffrey Stein Music Garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, and that's how we got involved. And before we knew it, we were on the board, I think since 2010, of the gardens. And I think 3 years ago, I took the vice presidency. My husband, he's on the board, and he more or less handles maintenance and is in charge of the people that do that. So we're very active all the time, and we're both I'm a plant person, and unfortunately, there aren't a lot of plant people on our board. so that's where I come in.
So they all default to you.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so you mentioned the children's garden. What are some of the other common attractions that people visit for?
People visit, number one, they love the trails.
Sure.
They love the ponds, and this pond actually that we're sitting near has many, many turtles, and we sell little packages of turtle food, and the children love to feed the turtles.
Right.
We have a labyrinth where people can walk the labyrinth and meditate as they're walking. That's very popular.
Sure.
The most popular, though, is the children's garden.
Sure.
We have, it's completely interactive. We have a discovery trail with 19 quiz boxes, and each, by a plant, there's a quiz box, and you have to look at the plant, and there's a little question, and you try to guess the answer, and if you can't, well, you can always check. You open up the quiz box, and it has the answer and the people that dedicated, that bought the quiz box.
That quiz box.
That's right.
That's wonderful.
And we've got not just the music garden, we also have a beautiful butterfly garden there. We've got it's called a human sundial.
Human sundial, okay.
And we'll show you how that works if the sun's in the right place at that time.
Okay.
We have also the children can climb on logs, and they can jump on beams. There's lots to do.
Sure.
They love it.
Yeah, yeah. And now there's in addition to the children's area, there's a sculpture garden too, right?
Yes. Well, there's sculptures throughout the entire 14 acres.
Okay.
We love to incorporate art with plants, and we have Ricardo Bracita. We have a lot of his work, which is pretty popular throughout the county. We've got a pair of giraffes. We've got amazing dragon. We have lots of all kinds of I can't think of what they are. Whatever. We'll show you. I can't think of what.
We'll see them as we go. Right.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So we've got the kids' garden. We've got the sculpture garden. And I read about a healing garden as well. Did we cover that?
Yes. Well, right here we have a garden that's a culinary garden.
Right.
Which also has healing herbs. But we have a healing garden right over there. Actually, my husband and I put it in because I happen to be an herbalist. I have an herbalist degree.
Okay.
So I felt that was really important, and we have plants that heal, and we can look at that afterwards, and I can point out some of the specific plants and what they do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now let's chat a little bit about special events. What do you guys have things coming up for the holidays?
Yes, we have a very big event coming up. It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year, and it's called November Fest. We will have, it's an adult only event, and we have probably 20 breweries, wineries.
Nice.
We have loads of booths. We have a live band right here.
Right in here.
Right here, and it's a whole day event. It's from 12 to 5, I believe, and it's going to be amazing. Every year, it's a hit.
And that's November Fest.
Yes, and we partner with the Lions Club.
Okay.
Okay, so we share the profits and we share the work.
Got it. Okay, and we'll post the website. We'll post all of that stuff on the video here.
It's November 18th, Saturday.
November 18th.
And they can get tickets online.
Okay, got it. So November 18th, Saturday, like I said, we'll post to that. And then I saw a couple other ways to get involved on the website. I saw Grow Getters and volunteer days.
Yes, we have a great group called the Grow Getters, and they come, I think, once a month, and they work in the nursery, and they pot plants for sale. We also have a program called the Adopt-A-Garden.
Adopt-A-Garden, okay.
And that is really the bones that keeps this place going, because we have probably, I don't know, maybe 15 families that for a year adopt an area and take care of it.
Got it.
They prune it, they plant it, they check the watering. It's amazing, and without that, I don't know how we would exist.
Got it. So do they come in and do it themselves? Do they hire somebody or a mixture?
No, they do it themselves.
They do it themselves?
They're usually here once a week, and you see them working for several hours with their hoes and rakes and cutters and everything else. They're amazing.
Wow. And so you had mentioned that is, if somebody wants to support what's going on, or you'd refer to it as the backbone kind of what you do. Huh?
Absolutely, and they love to garden. It gives them a chance. Many of the people live in apartments, and so it gives them a chance to get out and do some gardening.
Got it. So they're out doing gardening, contributing to a great local cause.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Now what about, I'd read a little bit about volunteer days. Do people come and volunteer?
Yes, once a month we have volunteer days.
Okay.
And we have a gal who's in charge of it, Jackie, and a lot of them are adults, but there's the high schools, our local high schools that are involved, and then we usually have maybe 20 teenagers, maybe juniors or seniors.
Sure.
And they come in and they spend 2-3 hours doing cleanup, doing sweeping, doing raking, cutting, whatever it takes, and they do get credit.
They get credit. Got it. So if somebody wants to donate time, or if somebody has a youth, like I remember my kids were at Guajome Academy, and at Guajome they had to do so many hours volunteers. So if somebody needs that, they could bring kids down here and do that as well.
And also adults really like to volunteer their time, and a lot of people just want to get out and get dirty.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we're sitting here, I'm just thinking if the weather's anything like today, what better way to spend a few hours or half a day?
Yes, and they're doing good for the community and helping us out.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go around. We're going to see a couple of things now. Huh? So where should we go first? What are your thoughts?
Well, since we're right here, by the way, we just got this patio cover up last week.
Right.
And this is going to be, it's in honor of one of our members who was a longtime supporter, Ed Fitzgerald. It's going to be called the Ed Fitzgerald Pavilion.
The Ed Fitzgerald Pavilion.
Right, and this is where the band always stays, and we have weddings. We also, this facility, one of the things that we do is we rent it for weddings and celebrations, and that also gives us funds, because our water bill, by the way, is $4,000 a month.
Does VID give you a break on that?
No. Unfortunately not. So we've got to raise that money. We've got to raise that money, and so the weddings and the different receptions and things really help us out.
Yeah, I read a little bit about on the website. So this is one option, right? If somebody wanted to come and rent some space, you've got the new pavilion here. Is this a common area where people do that?
Yes, it is. They usually set up here on the lawn. We have the ceremony, and in the rose garden we have the tables for the reception afterwards. And we'll go over there and look at the rose garden too.
Okay, sure.
So this is our rose garden, and we have opted for artificial turf, as we have lots of weddings here, and they kept, the lawn was trashed all the time, to be honest. They didn't mean it, but when you have 100 people standing here.
Sure.
And this works out great. And this garden was in honor of Ivy Bowden. He was one of our members for many years, and he's a Rosarian. He really did a lot for us and left us a little money, so we were able to put in this beautiful rose garden and the artificial turf and the patio there. And this is our big reception area, and we can hold up to 150 people here.
Got it. So if somebody has a wedding or a special event.
Yes, quinceañas, we do all kinds of events, graduation parties, and it's beautiful. This is time of year, the roses aren't really blooming, but boy, in the spring and through the summer, it's just loaded with color. This archway is covered with pink roses.
Oh, I bet that's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a real, and it's shady. It's really nice here. It's beautiful. And there's our garden house. And
so if somebody has a wedding or reception here, do they have access to the garden house? Is there?
They can, and we have a bride's room available, and we also have an inside area for smaller things if they want to do something indoor. Meetings, we have different kind of meetings that usually people like to have there.
Yeah, this is beautiful through here.
And this is our culinary herb garden.
Culinary herb garden is here.
Yes, this is the culinary garden. People really like it. We've got a nice hedge of rosemary. We've got basil, different kinds of basils. We've got, which is interesting, I don't know if you know what this is, but it's a caper plant. Right? Very good. A caper plant.
I cheated. I saw them.
Oh, you saw it. Okay. That's fine. We've got verbenas. We've got all kinds of herbs, and these are all culinary herbs. And this was also dedicated to a lady that I was very close to. I did landscaping for them, and she was an amazing chef. So her husband dedicated this to her, and her name was Sharon Kern. And it's very whimsical, if you notice this garden.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Well, I'm reading all these individual things that have been planted and labeled through here.
Yep.
Oh, there's hops.
Yep. I don't know if you can see it in bloom. They're finished. They were beautiful. They're bright green, the hops. And this dies down every year. We have to clean it, and then it comes up again every spring.
Wow.
So it's really amazing, the hops.
Okay, so we're going to head down to the labyrinth now,
Yes,
right?
the labyrinth is really a fun place. I particularly love it, and I walk it. I meditate as I walk, and we've got some nice little signs as you walk through
Well,
it.
here's an Adopt a Garden volunteer right there. There's
Yep.
Dave Kennedy. So that's an example of what you were talking about earlier, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Right. Awesome.
Dave actually passed away, and we're looking for a new Adopt a Garden. He just last year, so we're looking for somebody new. And I think we actually have a new group that are taking over for this.
There's John's patio. So did John adopt that area?
John's patio, yes. John didn't adopt it.
He didn't,
It was
okay.
dedicated to John, but we have people, you'll see many Adopt a Garden names,
Sure.
and I'll show you them as we walk along. Oh, look. We've got a resident roadrunner.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah.
We have two of them, and they're
That's
our
awesome.
resident roadrunners. So this is the labyrinth, and it's a really beautiful pathway to walk.
So you said
And
people come up here, they walk, they just relax, they meditate.
You walk around and around, and the center has a beautiful sculpture. And along the pathway, it's all encompassed with rosemary hedges, and it has Raphiolepis hedges to separate the
This
lanes.
is the Raphiolepis, yeah?
And here's, for instance, these are some of the little signs you read. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy.
Everybody could use that.
Right. So this is the kind of thing as you walk through the labyrinth, you're going to read these signs, and it'll, help your day, make you feel happy.
Yep. Beautiful. What's the story behind the sculpture there in the middle? Is there any story behind that?
No,
Okay.
it was here when I actually joined the garden, and it was done by a local artist. A lot of these were local artists. Some of them were some of our sculptures were in the city of Vista, and then they only keep them for a year, and so we acquired them.
And the view is beautiful up here.
Oh, this is a beautiful view
Stunning.
here. And there's a grape arbor. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Really
I
nice.
see it right there.
Yep, beautiful grape arbor.
Beautiful. Okay, so we'll head out of the labyrinth.
You'll go out of the labyrinth, and we're going to head towards the Palapa. And the Palapa overlooks the lower pond, which is right this way.
Okay.
I don't know if
Look at this structure. This is cool.
each one is special.
Okay, heading out of the labyrinth now. We're passing Ivy's patio.
Right? And now we are heading
You said
towards
14 acres, Naomi?
Yep, 14 acres.
14
This is
acres.
just the top level.
Yeah.
So this is we're passing through the Mediterranean garden,
Okay.
and we've got some really nice plants. We got a beautiful sago palm.
I'm just amazed at how beautiful everything looks. Boy, tremendous amount of work caring for all of
Tremendous amount. And we have a couple that have been doing this, and they're the Adopt a Garden couple. They've been here for a few years. Their name should be here somewhere, but I'm not sure. Oh, here, no. This is our Palapa, by the way. And a lot of people like to stop and have lunch here. It's a beautiful view. It's shaded. And you can look down and see the pond, the lower pond.
this. A great place for lunch, huh?
Great place. And it's a nice breeze. There's the lower pond, the walkway. We've got some turtles there as well. And that takes you down that path to the left of the lower pond, takes you down to the lower area, which is the desert gardens and the rock garden too. We have a painted rock. People paint rocks and put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a fun thing. Many times on the weekends, actually, my daughter comes and people can come and paint rocks for free and place them in the rock garden.
Wonderful. Okay, so here we are checking out the children's garden.
Yep. The children's garden, called the Bugs, Birds, and Butterflies.
Bugs, birds, and butterflies.
That's what this garden's all about. And it's very interactive. And we can start with my favorite, of course, we put this in, is the Jeffrey Stein Children's Music Garden.
So here we are at the Jeffrey Stein Children's Music Garden, and Naomi Stein is going to show us around.
Right. So this is a model similar of the synthesizer that my son used. So that's why we put that there.
Wow.
And it's a great place for kids to sit and the parents can take a picture.
Sure.
So that's what we call it, a photo op place. Yeah. And again, this is just a little silly thing, but the little boys love to go crazy with it. They really do. But one of my favorite is the banjo bench. And this encompasses the pebble chime, which is very, very interesting.
Yes.
So I
remember.
It's completely musically oriented. It's tuned. And what's interesting, if you watch 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds come, if you see little boys, they take a handful and they go like that. The little girls grab a few and gingerly, very slowly put it in. It's so amazing to watch them. It really is. This is fun too. This is fun
I
to
remember
play.
this from field trips.
Yep, this is really nice.
Yep. So could I sit out here with my banjo and play?
Why not?
I do play the banjo.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The parents usually sit on the bench and the kids roam around. They play the instruments. We've got these drums.
Yes.
This looks like it's coming off. We've replaced these probably about 30 times already.
What year did you dedicate this?
2010.
2010. Okay.
So that's always fun, and this sounds so nice. This one, we may have to start replacing all the instruments. though. It's been quite a few years.
It's
been
the
13
Amandinda.
years at the Amandinda. So this is.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So again, it's an interactive area. And down there you can see we just had our Fall Fun Festival and we had the Scarecrow Contest. And we've got quite a few scarecrows down there.
I see
it
them
was a
down there.
big day and it was a free day for the community. And they had lots of events. They had children bobbing for apples. It was really fun.
Wonderful. I have another sculpture here.
Yeah, a beautiful sculpture with the rose quartz in the center.
Yeah, it is. You can see it. It's beautiful.
And this area is still part of the Mediterranean garden. And it's got some really nice plants, some nice agaves and giant birds of paradise. Our gardens are really eclectic and we love it that way.
Yeah.
It's
relaxed,
relaxed.
welcoming kind of,
Exactly. We want people to feel welcome and to feel comfortable. I don't know, we can walk through the Australian garden and then head to the kids' garden?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do the
I'm good.
Australian
We're on your
garden.
schedule. You got dinner.
Okay, that's good. No, this is great.
This is
The gal who does this, who takes care of this, she's been taking care of this for at least 3-4 years, is Renata Carlin. And she's amazing. She's here all the time, taking care of our garden. And she painted these. Look at how beautiful for the Australian effect.
Oh yeah, I can see it from here. Yeah,
Can you see it?
Very cool.
Isn't that cool?
So Renata cares for this whole area. She's one of your.
Yes, this is her area. She takes care of the Australian garden. And all the plants here are indigenous in Australia. So
all these plants are indigenous to Australia.
Yep. So
Wow.
we've got some really nice plants. Of course, they're going. Some of them are going deciduous. They're starting to lose their leaves, but they're really nice.
It's a beautiful area through here. You can tell that she, even though it's volunteer and obviously it costs her time and money, she takes a lot of pride in this.
Oh, she does. And most of our Adopt-A Garden, believe it or not, they buy the plants and put them in.
Yeah.
They are so dedicated to everything. It's amazing. And you can stop and have a picnic lunch here too.
Sure.
Anybody. It's just so nice.
What is the admission fee if somebody wants to come visit? Is it
It's $5 for an adult and $3 for a child.
Wow.
And or you can become get a family membership for $60 a year.
Got it.
So that's very reasonable. And I think retired couples, I believe it's $45. Okay, this is our Discovery Trail.
Yep.
And you can pick up a guide when you come in.
Yep.
And we walk through, and we have 19 quiz boxes.
Okay.
By the way, the kids love running through the tubes.
Oh, absolutely.
And they yell as they run through, and there's a nice echo. I can't demonstrate it. I can't bend
You're not
that
going to
low.
run through there for me?
No. But for instance, so you look at this plant. Okay, you see this, and there's a question on the quiz box. And it says, cool and comfy clothing is made from this plant. What could this plant be?
We look around.
We
What
look
clues
around.
do we see?
Oh boy. So now we go in, we look at this, and it says, the cotton plant, all parts of the cotton plant are used. There is no waste.
Wonderful.
And it has the botanical name. And then we have the people that donated
Yep.
it. So as we go through, this is another plant right here. And if you can go through and you can sniff this plant.
Wow, what is that?
What is it? It says, smell me. You will think that you are eating a typical spicy food at a restaurant in India.
I recognize the smell, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so you got to open the quiz box, right? Okay, so curry plant.
Curry plant.
Grown for potpourris and wreaths. It smells like curry, but it's not edible. It's not the edible. Curry is actually a mix of many herbs.
Got it. And
But-
so how many of these quiz boxes are there?
19.
So there's 19 of these quiz boxes, and are they all about plants, or are they plants and animals?
No, it's all about plants. All about plants. So
Wow.
you can go through, and it's amazing. It's really, and it's a good learning tool for
Sure.
people that want to know the names of plants and so forth. Now here, this is an area the children can climb on all these logs, and they can also, you can see they just like to do that. So this was originally a topiary with some ivy.
Okay.
What happened is the cotton comes out every year. We have a lot of cotton plants. The kids decided, unbeknownst to us, to start stuffing this. So we left it. It's stuffed with cotton.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
So we leave it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's really, it works out well.
Yeah.
The kids love it. And actually in about another month, we're going to see some more cotton here. They'll start filling it in. And this is our famous, you might want to call it a dragon, or this area. This was donated by several people, and this is a sculpture by Ricardo Brasida.
I'm going to go on this side of you.
So it's supposed to look like a serpent in the seaweed. So we planted this asparagus mayeri because it looks like seaweed.
It does
and
look
looks
like seaweed.
it's in the seaweed in the ocean.
So here's the serpent's head.
Yep.
I love it. So there's the serpent. Who did the iron sculpture? Any idea?
Yeah, this Ricardo Brasida.
Oh, so Ricardo. Got
yeah,
it. Okay.
all of these are
All of them.
Ricardo's. All the iron sculptures.
I love it with the ivy, like you mentioned. Absolutely, it's a serpent coming up out of the ivy.
Well, it's out of asparagus mayeri.
Asparagus mayeri.
Oh, I know. I'll give you the technical term. Anyway, we also have some really pretty proteas here, right here, and these are beautiful, beautiful plants. I don't know if you can zero in on what they look like, but
Absolutely.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it says, I come from South Africa, and my name sounds like protein without the N.
Protea.
Right, so there you go. And there goes Protea, unique flowers prized by florists for flower arrangements.
Wow.
So these are the type of questions that you're going to get.
So kids can run around, act like kids, don't have to worry about breaking stuff.
Right, and
Use
these
a little
are
etiquette and learn.
That's right, and they can hop over all of these. These
Right.
are hurdles for them to hop over. And there's a wobble bridge as well. So kids have a lot of fun here.
Being kids.
Yep. And they can be kids here.
And you trick them into learning.
This is such a cute little area, and it's Alice's Tea Room.
Tea room, huh? Little playroom for the kids.
Yep.
What a magical little place this
Isn't it cute?
Alice's Tea Room at the Alta Vista Botanical Gardens at Bringle Terrace Park. How cute is that?
And this is our latest garden, and it's actually a butterfly garden.
Butterfly garden.
All the plants in this garden attract butterflies.
Wow.
So, and of course, they also attract caterpillars then.
Right.
And a lot of the plants get eaten at times.
Ah.
And our president, Ron Holloway, put this garden in honor of his wife. So you can see, and his son built these lovely little birdhouses. Of course, what happened is the bees decided to move in.
Did they? Oh, that's why you've got the screens on the front.
Right.
To keep the bees out.
Yeah, the birds didn't like it, but the bees did.
Bees loved it.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And we have some she loved turtles. We've had a little bit of some problems with kids coming and smashing some things.
That's
so
not cool.
unfortunately, I know we've had some of that.
That is not cool.
Isn't that cool? The
Windmill?
windmill. Yeah, it's really nice. And we've got milkweed, as you can see,
Yep.
to attract the butterflies. There's lantana. We've got sweet pea shrubs. Everything here attracts specific butterflies, especially the monarchs. Day Fall Fun Festival.
This is your scarecrow contest.
Loads of scarecrows. And everybody is also, they donated, they all had a sponsor, each scarecrow.
Oh, I see. Sponsored by United Plant Growers.
All different people.
All different
Everybody
people.
Sponsored one for $25.
Wow.
So it's also a way for us to raise a little money. And this is
Absolutely.
a little garden that Nancy Jones works with the children in this garden, and they plant it. They learn all about plants.
So they get to
watering.
get their hands dirty and get
Yep,
involved.
they do. Incredible edibles.
Incredible edibles.
It's really sweet. And so there we go. We're back to an area where we have some functions here, and it's a nice place for kids to gather for classes and things like that.
Absolutely. We're going to check out the human sundial. There's no sun right now, but
But it really works beautifully. So what you do is, let's say you go to the time of year, which is now October.
yes.
And when the sun's out, which it isn't, it'll cast the shadow, your shadow, exactly on the time of day it is.
So it's about 5 p.m. right now, right?
That's
so your
correct.
shadow, yeah, I can see it. So
Can you
if the
see
trees weren't
anything?
there, absolutely.
Yeah. It's,
Your shadow would kick right over there.
Yep. But right now, when the sun's out, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
The kids love it during the day. They're amazed.
They come and make sure it works properly,
Yep.
just like I did.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great picnic area, by the way.
Sure.
And that's where we do a lot of the rock painting. Kids sit and paint the rocks.
My first name is Lone Star State. My second name is a keeper of a park.
What could that be?
What could that be?
Okay, so what's the Lone Star State?
It's in the
Texas.
south. I'm going to guess that. Texas. Texas Ranger.
That's the name of this plant.
Nice. In addition to that, the Texas Rangers are starting the World Series tonight.
That's right.
Against the Diamondbacks.
Boy, this is nice with cobwebs here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
It says so. By the way, this normally has beautiful purple flowers. They just cut it back. I can see it's just been hedged back. This time of year. Oh, and then I just want you to show you. I think you've never seen a bird of paradise like this. It's very rare.
Looks like a garlic plant, kind of.
It's a bird of paradise, and it has beautiful birds when it blooms. And that bird of paradise has yellow birds on it when it blooms. These are two very rare birds of paradise.
Okay, that was quite a tour. I learned a ton about the Alta Vista Botanical Gardens.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad you could come, and we're so happy to have you. And we want people to come and visit our gardens. By the way, we're open in the summer every day from 10 to 5:30.
10 to 5:30 in the summer.
And the winter months, we're open from 10 to 4:30 because it gets too dark by 5 o'clock.
Got it.
And we're open 7 days a week.
7. Are any days more popular than others?
The weekends seem to be more popular, and again, some holidays people tend to come.
Sure.
But it's a beautiful place to bring your family.
Absolutely.
When you have visitors come from out of town, it's a great place. We're always welcoming people, and we have a kiosk at the front, and you can get information from who's ever at the kiosk that day of what might be happening and what you would like to do.
Thank you. And I'll post all of your information, social media contacts, and those things will be posted. So for those of you watching, if you or somebody you know has a small business, or you're out there in the community doing good things and you could use some free marketing and support, please visit vista411.com. There's a button there that says request to be interviewed. Hit that and I'll follow up with you from there. So thank you again for watching. Naomi, thank you.
Thank you for interviewing us.
Yes, thank you for being my guest. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.